Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So let's go over what we did yesterday really quickly. There was an announcement for BESU users, and it's really great that I updated it because I got 2 proposals in the time after updating it until now. So great job. Yeah. Also, Rocket Pool is hiring, implied that it's hiring. Hopefully they hire ASAP because we desperately need people like 6 months ago. Rewards for the rETH holders were set at 5.13%. I think that's actually 5.26% now, but I'm not 100% sure. Someone in staking land got slashed big time, so not good. Okay, so today we've got a bunch of things that we want to talk about. So the first thing is this update from Langers that came in yesterday after I posted that episode. He said updated MakerDAO risk evaluation. So I said a few days ago that Maker should be accepting rETH as collateral next month. I think the target date is the middle of October. So they're going through the process again, and they said the TLDR is deposit pool is not a reliable source of liquidity, obviously because it's empty right now. That should give them 5. Oh yeah, no, they can't. Let me figure this out. Okay, so there's no way for them to mint ETH back out of it. So that's not the source of liquidity, and sometimes it goes up and down. So they said liquidity on curve has declined. Knew that. Liquidity on balance has improved. Yay, incentives. Overall slippage cost has improved. Yay, 1-inch improvement. And outcome debt ceiling to remain at 5 million, and stability fee reduced to 1.5%. So this started off a really good conversation where people like Marceau, Waldorf, Whisker, Noshua, and did I say Waldorf already? Waldorf, Dr. Worm, like a bunch of really, really cool people. I think Jasper got involved too. Really wonderful people. Like these guys are literally doing like amazing work right now. I'm giving a huge shout out to all of them because they like came up with some responses, they'd like set their answers. Like they even got like a draft set up for a response to Maker. So Waldorf said the planned response to Maker. Link goes to the Dune dashboard. So he says, "Hi, I'm an active member of the Rocket Pool community and serve as the treasurer of Incentives Management Committee. First, I want to say I'm very pleased to see this moving forward, and I appreciate that we are at least getting an improved stability fee to match WST ETH. There are 2 points from the analysis I'd like to touch on, if only for the future. Peg and liquidity. For Maker, liquidity is important when the asset drops in value. For LSDs, this implies significant depeg down. The cost of liquidation event is at worst, and then there's a formula. The reason I bring this up is our peg has performed significantly better. See this community created Dune query. While I fully acknowledge that the initial depeg down is A, caused by market context, and B, greater due to leverage used with WST ETH, that does not explain the persistently better peg performance across months. The market apparently views rETH as being valued more closely to the value of its backing. I won't speculate as to why the market believes this, but I will highlight that this belief translate directly to a lower probability of liquidation, which is really great. And then curve liquidity, reducing our dependence on curve liquidity through WST ETH was a goal for us. When WST ETH depegged heavily earlier in the bear market, people LPing on rETH WST ETH took a significant hit as they were used as exit liquidity. As a result, we have not incentivized that pool, even though it's cheaper to incentivize than the ETH pool. We only have a few data points, but here's some big numbers. Here's some numbers according to the routing reported by 1inch. And then it goes on to explain like a table of values. So I really think that you should go back and read these details because it's a really good conversation about people like trying to figure out the best way to go forward is. Then in the post that I just read out to you, there's some discussion about how to make it better and how to like get new text for that part, and like it's just really, really good work. Like all of these guys are doing fantastic work, and seriously, I don't think we as a community appreciate them enough. They're helping us a tremendous amount. So huge shout out to all of the people I just mentioned earlier. Like we really appreciate you, and thank you for doing everything you're doing. Keep it up. Okay, next we have this post from vancaspel.eth, who says that this is the biggest week in terms of ETH deposits into the deposit pool and minting rETH. So like, I really want to shout out again to the same, like, incentives management committee, which is mostly the same people I just mentioned in the previous post. Like, one of their goals was to promote rETH liquidity, and that would basically lead to rETH getting minted in the deposit pool, and they have by far exceeded my expectations, and I think even some of the people in the committee didn't expect this result this quickly. I think even Waldorf was saying like this has exceeded his expectations. Well, yeah, I can't find the exact comment, but it was, yeah, I think it was Waldorf saying that they even exceeded their expectations. I remember when the liquidity incentives were starting, Marceau was saying that, he expected 60,000 rETH to be minted because of this. We're already at like 13,600 in 1 week pretty much, which is truly remarkable. So like, once again, like, everyone's doing a wonderful job, so keep it up. Next we have this comment from Marceau, who kind of shared this tweet from Ryan Beckermans, and he says, this is such a good way of demonstrating just how big of a deal the merge is. So let me open this image. It says Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy owns about 130,000 BTC, worth about $2.4 billion, which is about 2 million ETH. So right now, proof of stake is saving us 1 Saylor worth of miner sell pressure every 4.5 months. So it's as if MicroStrategy was buying their whole amount every 4.5 months, basically 2.5 times a year, which is absolutely phenomenal. Like, when you look at things like this, like, I don't know how long this current sell pressure is going to last, because obviously price goes down when there's more availability than there is demand, supply than demand. Right now, like, that obviously the price is going down, so there's more supply than demand. However, as soon as that demand upticks, like, this whole like merge play is just going to really kick into gear. Like, as soon as the market gets any sense of stability, then I think the ETH price, also definitely the ratio against Bitcoin, is just going to rally, like, melt faces, as we say. I'm here to see that. So yeah. This next thing, I've got this comment to share from Christian Limon, who said, Vitalik, when asked about ETH staking centralization threat, said Lido is not a single actor, it's a system that splits state between 21 different staking providers running nodes on the Lido website, and then there's a link of things. This is to address the common thread showing the high centralization of staking by way of Lido and Rocket Pool. On the quote is, Lido is not a single operator, it's 21 separate node validating transactions, which are fairly well decentralized and located in different places. I think that's actually 30 different nodes now. However, our Rocket Pool intern, who did an amazing job with this, oh, by the way, this person is actually the Gemini executive. Christian Limon is an executive at Gemini Exchange. So the Rocket Pool intern says Lido might be better than Coinbase, but there's still disadvantages, risks with Lido versus a fully permissionless and decentralized option like Rocket Pool. Home stakers can't run Lido nodes. Lido DAO is controlled by a single-digit number of whale wallets. Lido also has more tail risks. And then Christian says, nice, I'm here to learn. Hit us with why Rocket Pool is better for censorship resistance and decentralization. So then the Rocket Pool intern had like a 7-8 tweet thread about basically all the different ways in which Rocket Pool is better, and I really think the intern did a great job with this. So I'm just going to retweet that now, because I hadn't done earlier. So great job, intern. Also, the intern was doing most of this time with a BloxcRoute COO, So it says, unlike in proof of work, the most important thing for ETH2 validators, at least when working with MEV relays, is luck. Otherwise, how can you explain these rewards? And it says slot, blah, 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 award 0.077 ETH, slot, the next slot, basically reward 16.77 ETH. So validators must set up their infrastructure and believe in luck. So then Rocket Pool Intern says, nope, just set up the infrastructure and use Rocket Pool Smoothing Pool, which average out rewards into a nice consistent income stream. Problem solved. So like the Smoothing Pool completely removes the element of luck from staking. So let's have a look at the Smoothing Pool because I love having a look at that. So I'm going to go to RocketScan, which is an absolutely incredible website and one that I use every single day. Let me see. Well, while that loads, it's a little bit slow, sadly. That's the only criticism I have of it. Okay, it's just going to take another second to load up. But RocketScan is a truly amazing website. So as you can see here, there are nearly now 1,000 nodes, which is 66% of the staking, of the protocol of Rocket Pool are in the Smoothing Pool now, and 3,425 mini pools, which is 45%. And the balance now of the Smoothing Pool is 69.35 ETH, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, we've got some bigger pools joining who are like 70 mini pools, 64 mini pools, 61, 60. Like, it's just really great that we're getting such amazing turnout. And I think as soon as the latest reward period ends in 4 days time, we'll be getting another big chunk of people joining the Smoothing Pool, because right now they actually lose out on a chunk of their rewards if they join now compared to if they join right at the beginning of a rewards period. So this is the great thing about the Smoothing Pool, is that, you know, the rewards will come to you in a much more predictable, much more consistent way, and it's the most relevant for the people who have, like, you know, 4, 3, 2, 1 pools, like the lower number of pools, because your average is to get a proposal every 60 days, and you don't know if you're going to get that lottery ticket or if you're going to get a regular ticket, and like just a small amount. Like the 2 proposals that I got in the last 2 days, one had 0.02 ETH, another had 0.08 ETH. It's luck, right? Luck of the draw. And with the Smoothing Pool, you get a lot more. So that's what I'm really excited to see about more people getting in on that, more people getting their MEV turned on, MEV boost turned on, and really contributing to the pool, so everybody gains from that. So yeah. Next we have this thread that's kind of interesting, because I don't know if any of you have been following the price action, but the last few days, whenever the RPL ratio against ETH goes up a little bit, like gets like 0.019, there's like selling that starts to happen, and then it goes back down, and then it slowly works its way back up, and then it gets smacked down again. So basically the reason why that's happening is there's this whale on 1inch who has already sold about 22,500 RPL tokens and is selling another 100,000 RPL tokens in the limit order through 1inch, and they are selling basically at 0.0185 all the way up to 0.0192. So that's like a wall of like resistance that's there now, like, and we kind of have to eat through it. And sadly, it's taking us a little bit longer to eat through than I thought it would have. If this person is watching this, please just market sell your ETH or set it up as a liquidity position, so it makes it a lot easier for, you know, it's more profitable as a liquidity position. If you do it through Uniswap, you can set up a wall and just sell it through there. Or if you sell it to a whale over the counter, there's a bunch of whales that are waiting to buy, and like one of them is something Luke, who's willing to buy a big chunk that people were talking about in trading earlier that I haven't bought yet. So sell it over the counter, sell it through a liquidity position, because every time it hits that price, they just market dump it, and then it knocks off a big chunk off the price, you know. So it's not doing anyone any favors. But that was, I think, interesting for people to see. Maybe they've got an idea of why the price isn't going up these last few days. There's a huge wall there, basically. And finally, I just wanted to give a shout out to Allnodes. So people kind of like, give Allnodes a hard time because they think of it as a centralizing force. And I kind of agree with that. And then that's why I'm not running Allnodes, which is what I was tempted to do when I first realized that I was going to stake with Rocket Pool. I was just going to set up an Allnodes thing and just do that. And then obviously I'm a lot happier now that I'm doing my own thing. But Allnodes is really, really wonderful for people who are in places with intermittent internet connection, or they don't want to, like if they've only got one or two mini pools. It's easier to just stake through Allnodes, because you're paying $10 a month per mini pool will take you 5 years of staking before you could recover the cost of a NUC if you wanted a NUC, or maybe 3 years for a small, less powerful system. But they do a great job, especially, like I said, for those who are in places where it's hard to stake themselves, anywhere where infrastructure is not 100%, like in the developing world, even in some developed places. There's still issues with internet, there's still issues with bandwidth, there's still issues with uptime stuff. So Allnodes is a really great middle point between not staking and staking with Rocket Pool, like yourself. So 1,000 mini pools is around, I think there's 6,500 mini pools I think now. So it's got a small chunk of the network of the protocol, but they're doing a great job as far as I know, and I've not heard too many people complaining about the work they're doing. So yeah, keep it up, good job. And on that note, I'm going to call it a day. I hope you all have a great remainder of your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.